everyone, welcome to Danu's Irish Herb Garden. It's spring cleaning time still. We're still rejuvenated and feeling renewed with the beautiful spring vibe, and there's tons to do out here. Lots of kind of tidying up, raking up debris and planting. So today I've already planted peas and lettuces and coriander that I sowed earlier, and today I'm just trying to beautify this little end corner because parts of our garden are still kind of building site because we're now rebuilding the greenhouse, and so we turn into a bit of a mess. So I'm going to beautify this area. I've already got a birch, I've got feverfew here, I've got some lupins and narcissi, and thanks to our lovely patrons we have some beautiful flowering plants. So I've got some lupins here to keep the ones already there company. And then because it's a funny little area, I've got a Vinca major here which will spread and will have beautiful flowers on late spring, early summer. So I'm just going to do that today now. And it's such a funny old world that we're living in. You know, every day it's bad news, it's getting worse. So the best thing to do is to get outside, make contact with nature. Our focus is so tiny and minuscule. We need to expand and take in all the beauty that's in the world and forget all the idiots who are trying to disrupt our lives. Let's just ignore them. They're not going to go away, but don't give them power over us. The warmongers can just go off and twiddle their thumbs and do whatever they want. I'm just going to keep planting. This ground is really just waste ground with a little bit of soil thrown on top, and I put a couple of trees and hedges in just to do something, but it's nice to see this as a beauty spot when you drive in along the driveway. So what I have here to just make sure things are going to grow, I've got a lovely barrow load of human manure, our own compost that we've made, and it will just, this rough ground here will benefit from it. I'm just taking out a few weeds before I start planting. So our friend Colette in Bealtaine Cottage has a wonderful adage: in times of destruction, create something. And she got it from somebody else who I can never remember the name of, so I'll just give Colette the kudos for that. But it's true. And even if you just plant a bulb, or even if you just plant, I don't know, any little annual that you can find, it's worth doing for personal well-being as well as the well-being of the planet. And now I've got that settled in there, I'm just going to put a nice feed of human manure around it. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? I'm not saying it looks good enough to eat, but it does look pretty good. I like to think that when we're all dead and gone, some of the trees and the plants that I've put in here will keep going, and they might remember me, and they'll certainly have stories that, if we could only access them in the future, could be told to the next generations. But I really do believe that being in nature, putting your hand in the soil, working with plants is incredibly therapeutic and beneficial on so many levels, and especially in these difficult times. We have we found a group of people quite recently, and we have a policy that if somebody doesn't have a garden, they can go to somebody who does have, and they'll give their labour for the experience of working in a garden. And the person who has the garden benefits from the labour, makes a new friend, but can also share any produce, which is a really good feeling as well. So it might be something other people could adopt. You know, if you're one of those people who would love to get working in a garden, volunteer at somebody's garden. Create a community garden. There's lots of that happening around here in Ireland. But I think it has to come from the ground up, from the roots, from the ordinary people, because you can't expect governments to do good stuff for you. Right. So the whole springtime, as I said, is a very busy time, rejuvenating, renewing things, and tidying up. So as soon as I've planted these, I'm going off to do some raking and strimming and tidying, because we've got a new bed to put in. We can show you more about that next week. But our motto is always, reuse, recycle, rejuvenate. And you'll see what I mean. Oh, there we go. In fact, I'll show you now what we're going to do. So we'll just follow me. So this is a new area that we've just cleared, because all these logs that we bought for building purposes, like helping, when we put up the sheds, and also for firewood if we get them cut up, they were just sitting around here. So we've lifted them out of the way, and I'm going to strim here, put down some raised beds, and we've got more space for our vegetables. Up there we could do a little terrace, because that's a rock, see? That's sheer rock. So we could put a long bed on here, and we've got a little terrace of extra space for vegetables. So much to look forward to, and so much work to do. It's never ending. So have a wonderful week, and we're going to keep busy. There's so much to do in the garden this time of year, but it is enjoyable. It's the kind of labour where you get tired and you sleep well, because your body is tired and your mind is tired, because you're thinking all the time about what you're doing. So do try to get your hands into the earth. It's wonderful for making you feel better. So I better go, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely week. Bye bye.